Day Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on April 23rd, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me here is Xance and Rooks. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone.
Greetings, everyone. I'm high on coffee.
Cool. I will be soon.
So we got an exciting headline here. Hopefully, it's been an interesting month to say the least here. And I know that a lot of people are starting to say some stuff. We'll just go ahead and launch right into this here, starting with one of the posts that have actually been coming off of Reddit here. Basically, yeah, people are talking at this point here about the state of the game, effectively here.
And how it's not in the best state, i.e. it's stagnant. Like, very hard stagnation.
Yep.
And it's been in that stagnation now for well over a year.
Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, Sega warned us in-game through, saying that number of seconds, which, yes, also was the number for Pi, but at the same time it also goes from June 7th to June 4th, year to year here, which is patch day to patch day, 1 year apart. Yeah, I mean, what can you really say at this point here? And then it's not just only that. Even people are starting to talk about the whole Dark Falls situation. I mean, I went into Dalian. I was still awake when it dropped earlier last week. I gave it 2 runs, and then I went to bed, and then I heard that there was no ending scene again.
Worse than that, then wasn't there no introduction scene either?
No introduction scene, not even a comment from any of the somebody at the command center saying, "Hey, we've detected this new space-time distortion." Like, at this point, the seasonal events are getting more acknowledgement than these Dark Falls class, whatever you want to call it, Starless at this point. Yeah, it's really bad, and to another post that was made here, and once again, Rooks, thanks for pulling these out here. This is the male Gemini here saying, "Really, I'm sick of hearing you guys sully the Dark Falls name." Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
yeah, this is
Because, yeah, the Dark Falls in base PSO2 had such strong personality. Especially Gemini, dear lord, just the childish nature of Gemini is great. And then also, what was it? The Piece of Ark's Trash one?
that's
Luther.
Luther, yeah.
And then
Yeah, Dark Falls Luther.
And most people don't even know about Hadaj, which, that's PSO2S. So, yeah, it's
So Kamara, are you really sure you want to go story light? Because you're starting to see how bad of an effect that has on a game. The story, it colors the universe. It gives motivation to the players. This is disgusting what you've done. But, considering how you've handled the story so far, I think it's actually good because so far that you have been story light, because it's easier. It's going to be easier to fix honestly at this point. But at the same time, this is bad.
Yeah,
Very.
really, really bad. Even the Japanese players are talking about this at this point, so yeah. We'll have to see what they've got for us. Supposedly they've got some surprise for us during this stream, but yeah, it's not a good situation.
Anyway, the headline is starting.
Yep, here we go.
Welcome back, everybody, to NGS Headline.
Hello, everyone. It's 9 p.m.
So let's get started with NGS Headline. I am Hiro Arai, the official navigator of NGS, and I will be the MC
They
for
need
this
to add
program.
in
I
9
will be
p.m. in
bringing you the
Japan.
latest info on NGS. It has been a while since you all last saw me, as I had to take a brief leave of absence. I apologize if this may have worried any of you, but rest assured, I am back and here to tell you about all of the things NGS has in store. Halpha's Super Origin
I understand
Festival
that he might
campaign,
need to take a break from
introduced
being
in last month's
Kimura's
broadcast
meat
to
shield.
commemorate the 3rd anniversary of NGS, will finally start tomorrow, April 24th. Stay tuned as I will share all the juicy details of what you've been waiting for. Now, once again, this program is to inform players about the current operation and upcoming updates of Sega's online RPG, PSO2 New Genesis, also known as NGS. We will also share details about exciting campaigns, peripheral information, and discuss the present and future of NGS for our players. This is a
Okay,
pre-recorded
let's see what that
broadcast.
means.
If you would like to watch it in Japanese, you can check it out on the Japanese NGS YouTube channel. Let's start with this segment.
NGS Hot Information.
This time, I'll be starting with this information. Starting from tomorrow, April 24th, we will be holding an extravagant campaign, Halpha's Super Origin Festival, to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of NGS. From April 24th to June 11th, a variety of campaigns will be held, including weekly gifts of luxurious items and high-powered boosts.
And once again, they're doing this
Use this
before
campaign
the
to
actual
enjoy NGS
anniversary
to your heart's
happens.
content. First, I would
You
like
still
to
wonder why they
introduce
can't
the
add this
campaign
during the
starting on April
anniversary, but
24th.
okay.
The up to 150 free draws Super 10 a day free SG Scratch allows you to draw 10 free SG Scratch tickets per day up to 150 times during Halpha's Super Origin Festival. In addition to avatar items, support items useful for enhancements will be available. So I encourage those who want to strengthen their equipment to draw as many times as they can. A limited time item recycle event will also be held, where all your unwanted SG Scratch ticket items can be exchanged for rare items like emotes. This item recycle can be accessed through NPC Shiemi's item recycle option. We will also be holding our regular Use the Salon to Your Heart's Content campaign for unlimited salon uses and weekly campaigns to give away fabulous gifts.
Now they're
So I
showing
hope you all will
PSO2 base
enjoy
there,
NGS
but it's
version
probably
2
not going to allow
during
you
this
to
time.
do
The Super Treasure Scratch and
the
pre-announced
trades
urgent
for
quests
old
will start.
PSO2 stuff.
The Treasure Scratch lineup will get a gorgeous renewal. Don't miss the Crouch emote and other Scratch count bonuses. Running in tandem with this, you will be able to complete pre-announced urgent quests twice. The Super Boost campaign will give you a powerful plus 150% boost.
Okay,
both
being
the
able to
rare
do
drop
urgents
rate
twice is
and drop
pretty
item
nice. I
preset
like
skill
that.
rate for
Yeah,
all
but
quests
I
and
have no
combat
reason to
sectors.
run urgents aside from the ones that I haven't done the titles for in old triggers.
We will have
Yeah,
a super item enhancement
Because
support
the
campaign.
the reward for the urgents is the same as just farming in the normal overworld.
Success
Yeah,
rate
exactly.
and
And I've
preset
gotten
skill
all
enhanced
the
success
all the
rate
titles
will
at
be
this point for
significantly
the others.
increased
So
by
like
plus 10%.
for the current urgent
The
quest. So
various
like what's
Meseta
the point?
requirements for enhancement will be greatly discounted.
Like, I
This
know
is a
I'm
great
already complaining
opportunity
right
to
now, but
enhance
like
all
that
of
was
your
the main
items.
reasoning for the urgents in like base PSO2.
The second
They
half
had a lot of
the
rewards that
campaign will
were
kick off with
exclusive
2
to those
a day
urgents.
Super special AC scratch tickets.
Hey
Or
there,
they were
super
really
bad.
good for getting a bunch of
By
like
completing your daily tasks, you
11
can
and
earn
12
scratch
star, like
tickets equivalent
yeah,
to
getting some
AC
10 and 11
scratch
star
tickets.
weapons so that you
Be
can
sure to do them every day to get these items.
easily get X cubes.
Starting May 15th, There will also be a boost event for all quests and combat sectors. I'm sure you are all itching to know the boost amount. But
On top of the current 300% experience boost that's been ongoing for, what, like a year now?
For that. In conjunction with this boost event,
Once again,
Super
another
Seasonal
failure.
World
They
Trials
need
will
to
also start.
build up the journey, not rush us through to the
Yeah.
end and have
Yeah,
players
the-
just
the
leave.
The early and
races
mid game
and
is
aim to buff
not
those boost rates.
great at all.
Yeah.
The Super Item
like,
Enhancement
why have
Support
levels at
campaign
this
will be
point?
back this time from May 22nd.
Especially with how they do the handle
This
scaling
is the
between
perfect
you and the
opportunity
enemies.
to enhance the equipment you get during Halpha's Super Origin Festival, so take advantage of it. Super pre-announced urgent quests start on May 29th. Planet Crusher Assault will occur at announced times, making it an urgent quest version of the ongoing high-difficulty standing quest, Planet Crusher Blitz, which will be announced in the update information to follow.
Gee, if that doesn't confirm my belief that it was pointless to do the high
Crimson
difficulty
Realm
version.
and Urgent Quest Super Boost
Yeah.
campaign. will be
Yeah, I
held
mean,
at
if you
the
want
same
the
time.
challenge, there you go. You have basically a month and a week to get it done before the easy version comes
Crimson
out.
Realm will occur in Kavaris combat sectors, and we will have super high rate boosts for the targeted sectors and all urgent quests.
Okay, so they're bringing Crimson Realm back.
I like that.
With the 11-star
Rare
weapons.
11-star Wingard series weapons will be
I wonder
added
if it's
to
gonna
the
be,
drops of
areas
some
outside of
enemies
Kavaris
in
this
the
time.
target sectors of the Crimson Realm. So try to get them.
Feels like they're being very coy about some of the stuff
The
they're saying
Revival
here.
SG Scratch Ticket Halpha Revival April 2024 will be available from April 24th. In addition to the SG Scratch Ticket prizes previously released in NGS making a comeback, you can also obtain consumables useful for enhancing preset skills, such as Preset Skill Item Protection Level 3. A free version of this
Yes,
scratch
the
ticket will
Crimson
also be
Realm
available
should
during the
probably
distribution
be
period, where you can draw
a
up to
selectable
10 times
quest
a day
like
for free.
the ultimate
You can
area
draw up
battles
to a total of
in base
150
PSO2.
times over 15 days until June 4th, when the distribution ends. So log in during this period to obtain oodles of items. That's all we have planned for Halpha's Super Origin Festival.
A new planet?
It all kicks off tomorrow on
That
April 24th,
plan.
so get hyped. Next is an update you have all been waiting for.
Let's not make up fake stuff here.
Here is some information about the May updates.
It's like, update we've all been waiting for. A
Let's
new
start
planet,
the video.
something new. No, scratch tickets.
Okay, that's a PSO2. No, is it PSO2 music?
That's not PSO2 music, that is
Not.
Kavaris.
Kavaris,
Yeah.
thank you.
Particularly, I think that's Flow Warrior.
Yeah, if it sounds like we're angry about the state of the game, we are. There's no question about that.
They've had close to 3 years here to get their act together. It's inexcusable at this point.
Yeah, they're arguably at a lower place than they've ever been, even comparatively to the lowest point in base PSO2, which was episode 5.
Yep. And here's yet another rehashed quest. Okay, that's okay. I'll admit that's an interesting accessory. I'm surprised they hadn't put it out before.
Don't you mean a new rank? Okay, no, it is a new one.
Yeah,
Well,
this has Starless in it. So, what's
Okay,
the
that
lore
is-
behind this? How'd they
exactly.
get in there?
Yes.
Or, you know, once again, it could just simply be Zeffeto's plan this whole time. But we gotta wait for story on that one, I guess. What is this? It's like they turned us into mannequins or something.
For some people, that might actually work. At least it's something for the cast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this at least looks like it has a new design for a quest.
But it's virtual a lot. But it's virtual again.
Yep.
Anytime you see those constructs around, it's always virtual.
I have to mute that up because of the content ID. So. Let's see. Okay, they should be able to hear you again now here. Let me know when the music ends here.
Okay.
Okay. It's going to be hilarious if they get their own video block content IDs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's happened to them before too.
I've heard about the Atelier series. I've never played any of the games.
Basically, what I hear, it's a RPG focused around alchemy, a kind of a herbalist alchemy kind of system. I don't know much more about that beyond that.
Yeah, all I know is that it's a turn-based RPG. Which, that is my thing. I like turn-based RPGs.
Yeah, and it's one of the ones that come out of Koei Tecmo, so that's I've played a few in the past, but I mean we're talking like way in the past, like in Indo, Way of the Ninja back on the Super Nintendo.
Ah. Yeah, it's been going on for a while.
Okay, it looks like the segment's ending here, so.
Hold on. Okay.
It's done.
Okay, means
Let
it's
me
gone.
go through the details with these slides. Starting with this. Special
Mom
scratch
says
tickets are
Persona
coming on
time
April
stuff
30th.
plus alchemy.
Okay.
First, Remix Motions will feature motion changes and emotes released in the past, including new effect arrangements and mirrored versions. The scratch count bonus includes the Augment Capsule Lux Halfinale S. The Revival SG Scratch Ticket, Refined Revival May 2024, will feature items previously released in the Refined Form series, arranged to NGS specs.
It'd be nice if we could get some more stuff
In
like
addition, although not shown in the video, Type 1 Voice Collect May 2024 and Type 2 Voice Collect May 2024 Revival AC Scratch tickets are also coming. These are voice tickets released for PSO2 in Japan, divided by type.
They still haven't
You'll
released
have heaps
English
of
voice
items to try
tickets.
out in character
Nope.
creation.
They've
Records
did it for
period will be
the
Geometric Labyrinth Rank 2 for solo
the,
in all classes. Once
the web
again,
series.
You can participate by taking on the challenge during the event.
Yeah, they did voice tickets for the
Go
web
for a
series
high
and
score with all the
then
latest
did no
equipment.
other voice tickets on the English side.
The limited time quest, A Ruins Interception 2024, will be available starting from May 8th. This quest is a remake of the one released last August, where ARKS engage in a series of battles against the Megalotics version of boss enemy Crocodilus Vera and the event-exclusive boss enemy Resplendent Ams. To make the quest more accessible, the maximum number of participants have been reduced from 24 to 12, and the number of enemy reinforcements has been adjusted.
I wonder what's causing
New
them to
limited
reduce
time
all
tasks
the
and title tasks will
all
be
these
added that can
limited
be
time
accomplished
quests
by
from
completing this
24 to
quest.
12. Like, are the servers having trouble
By
with them?
completing this quest, you can get
don't
anniversary
know.
special scratch tickets.
Well, their
reward
excuse
box
here
medal
is
April
that it's
2024,
accessibility,
and
that having
limited
too
time
many people
titles.
run it makes it difficult. But I've never seen lag either, so I don't know.
Furthermore,
Well, if it's
new items will be
accessibility
coming
from not
to the
having enough
seasonal
players, I
points
mean,
exchange
just
shop,
implement all ship
including accessories like the
matching.
full-on helm.
You know, they were thinking about
Additionally,
that, but it's still a case
certain
of
items available for exchange, such as anniversary special scratch tickets and N-Master cubes, will be updated. Please make sure to check for these updates. Next up is the new Battle Dia Purple Alio Intruders. In Alio Intruders, you finally have the chance to challenge gigantic starless boss enemies in a series of battles. This time, both rank 1 and 2 will be available simultaneously, and each can be undertaken by up to 8 people through the trigger portal at Halfia Lake. All
Ah,
enemies will be
8
at
players,
level 89, and there will be 3 gigantics you need to defeat. While the overall difficulty of the ranks is similar, the types of enemies that appear will vary. Therefore, choose the rank where the enemy you most want to defeat
So the
appears.
question is, how are these
Additionally,
enemies showing? Yeah, as you
limited-time
mentioned, how are
tasks
these
and
enemies
title
showing up in
tasks
here
will
already?
also be added for Alio
Yep.
Intruders. Complete these tasks to get your hands on N-Master
And once again,
cubes
it's in
and
the
titles.
arena where you can see there are places to look down from
During
above.
this period, the ARKS records will be for the field race West Alio Dash Stage 1. Join in during the period and fight for the high score. A new AC scratch ticket, Urban Cybernetics, is coming on May 8th. Immerse yourself in a futuristic world with cyberpunk-style clothing, cast parts, and trendy outfits perfect for street dancers. Additionally, the Scratch Count bonus will include Paramotor EX, an alternative version of the dash and glide motion change items that are part of the Scratch Ticket prizes. The limited time quest drill, Cascading Punishment Suppression Op, will be available starting from May 15th. This exhilarating quest is set on the shimmering, colorful shores of Retum, where you will use Blasticine and other gimmicks to defeat tons of enemies.
So I like that they're going to change the route on the
Furthermore,
22nd.
Starting a week later,
but-
on May 22nd, the quest route will go in a new direction.
why couldn't they do it from the start and just
So be sure
randomly
to check
choose
it out
which
to see
which
what
route you take?
unfolds.
Yeah, why only 2 routes? Why not 3 or 4?
New limited
Yep.
time tasks will also be added, which can be completed by successfully finishing this quest.
I mean,
Don't
at
miss
least
the
at
opportunity
least
to
then
get
you
anniversary
don't know
SP
which way you're
scratch
going,
tickets and reward box
and
medal
that at
April
least brings some
2024
excitement to if
by
you get the route you
accomplishing
want
the
or not.
tasks. Additionally, we will also be holding a Trainia ARKS records. This time, it will be held in helical line, solo for all classes. Aim for a high score by utilizing the various gimmicks and floating boards available. Although not featured in the video, I would like to introduce the Revival AC Scratch Ticket 3rd Anniversary Thankful. This special ticket commemorates the 3rd anniversary of NGS and includes accessories, hairstyles, emotes, and other items that were previously released in PSO2.
Look, he's able to present time-limited stuff
addition,
because he's been
Ticket
doing that now
version
for 3
3rd
years.
Anniversary Thankful will be released at the same time. The prize lineup is the same as the 3rd Anniversary Thankful except for the scratch count bonus. You can use the tickets available during the scratch ticket distribution period to obtain these tickets. So make sure to play NGS to get your hands on tickets and grab those items. We'll be holding a double collab featuring Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End, and The Secret Key, and Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salberg, after scheduled maintenance on May 15th. Log in during the collab period to get life-sized cutout build parts of Ryza, Claudia, and Bose as login bonuses.
Fun fact. In previous PSO2, you could
The AC Scratch
get
Ticket Atelier Style
you could
will
get
be
you
released
could buy
on May
statues
15th.
and such as merchandise of Jean
Avatar
and
items for
Matoy.
Ryza, Claudia, Bose, and Marie
Of the
are
current
on
characters
way.
from NGS,
Plus
the
an
closest thing you
emote
can get is these
use to
plastic
mimic Ryza's
Gashpon
synthesis.
gotcha machine
And that's not all.
plastic
It'll be
cutouts
packed with lots of other items
for
too, including music discs
for
of That
and
Summer
when it comes to
Hideout
NGS
and more
merchandise.
songs, as well as weapon
the
camo
characters are
modeled
just
after
not
Agnes
popular
Luce,
enough to
the Cosmic
support
Staff,
any
and
further
other weapons
merchandising.
from the game. Don't miss it.
Yep. And then, of course, you know, they haven't
That's all
held
for
any
what's coming in the first half of the
in-person live events in
Now
a
let's
long
see what's
time. And I
coming in
mean,
the
you know,
second
we're
half
way
with
past
this
COVID
video.
at this point, so they don't really have any excuses on that.
Yeah, it's like Matoy was a very, very popular character. I don't think anyone gives a shit about Aina. I know I don't.
Yep, here's the Crimson Realm they announced already.
It's back in Gavaris, great.
Yep.
Apparently they
waiting on
increased the
the-
timer on this, though, on this boss.
Okay. Still waiting for the fix transfer.
Yeah, fun fact, in the 2 attempts I made of this, I actually did not go down once. It was everybody else in the party I got randomized into.
Nice.
Okay, Vibrous accessories and then Zephetomag. Okay, this at least was fun when it happened last time.
Nazun's big quiz, yeah.
All the Type 1s are getting very tired of getting these cross-dresser outfits. How about...
Yeah, it's like, I'm not interested in making my character look like a femboy, thank you very much. Also,
Okay, that's kind of unique
Bear trap
there.
head? What? Why?
At least it's eye-catching.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
How did you
Okay,
like
that
it?
was a shorter one for certain there.
Now let's take a closer look with these slides. As announced earlier, when I talked about the Halfa's Super Origin Festival, the Crimson Realm will once again reappear in Kavaris combat sectors for just 1 week starting May 22nd.
For just 1
As
week?
before, the
Apparently.
Bandara ruins and Lost
Oh
Central will
my
shift
God.
into the Crimson Realm on
1
a daily
week.
basis. The weather will turn ominously red.
They say there is a
Starless
June
enemies will
trailer.
become more powerful, and exclusive trials
Actually,
will
it was a
take place.
July trailer. They said. I'm wondering if they
The probability
said
of
that
a
by
trial
mistake.
occurring has been increased compared to last time, and the time limit for the Crimson Realm exclusive trial, driverless suppression, has been extended. Join forces with your fellow ARKs to take on the Crimson Realm and earn fantastic rewards. In addition, by completing limited time tasks in the Kavaris region, you can get Reward Box Medal April 2024. Furthermore, the lineup of the Seasonal Points Exchange Shop will be updated with new items, including a color variation of the motion change item, Motion Idol, sitting on a box. So don't miss out. The ARKS records during this period will feature the field race, Central Alio Board Stage 1. Once again, you can participate by taking on the challenge within the event period. In addition, a new urgent quest, Planet Crusher Assault, will be available from May 22nd. It is an
So this
urgent
is the
quest
same
version
week.
of Planet Crusher Blitz, a high difficulty quest released in April.
So I get the feeling they didn't intend to bring it
The
back
core
then,
content of the quest
but
content
because
remains
players
the
were
same,
having trouble
but
completing
players
the
can
driver's
participate,
boss
and
within
the
the time
quest
limit,
failure
that
conditions, as
they
well
decided to
as
bring
the
it back with the
HP
extended
and attack
timer.
power of the enemies have been relaxed, making it more manageable.
It should
compared
never
to
have been
Planet
limited
Crusher
time
Blitz.
anyway.
If you haven't had the chance to play the standing quest Planet Crusher Blitz, it might be a good idea to try the urgent
At least they're
quest
killing
Planet Crusher Assault to
based
get a
defense
grasp of
missions.
Darkfall's Dalian strategy before attempting Planet Crusher Blitz again. Also, a title task for this urgent quest is coming, so be sure to complete it to earn N Master Cubes and titles. Please note that the urgent quest Mining Rig Defense Kavaris will no longer occur as an urgent quest from this update onwards.
Did they get rid of the mining rig defense for Tem?
However, you can still enjoy the
I don't
Trigger
think they
Quest
did,
version,
so why are they
so if you wish to play it,
doing one and
please
not the
accept
other?
it through the quest counter. Next up is the new SG Scratch Ticket Refined Form May 2024. It includes NGS spec versions of Sleeveless Coat and Active Camisole previously released in PSO2. Don't forget to check the emote Pose 25 coming as a scratch count bonus.
Maybe they realized players were just going in as a single player and then just
We're
going
also
off to a
releasing
corner
Mission
somewhere to
Pass,
just hit
NGS
the
Season 32.
urgent quest completion for alliance tasks and such.
This time, the lineup features stamps, accessories, and more, as well as valuable items like personal shop use 3 days and SG scratch ticket price slips, similar to the previous round. Keep an eye out for the cool mag form inspired by Zepheto, second place winner of the NGS character election. Additionally, there will be various new items, including an accessory based on the enemy Tinos. Don't miss out on all this. Though it wasn't mentioned in the video, the AC Scratch Ticket AC Support Items Select May 2024 will be available on May 22nd.
Time to spend AC!
It includes the new Anadi type augment, which is an upgraded version of the XD type augment. What's more, the augment capsule Hyperio 2 will be available instead of EXP Weapon 2 and Armor 2.
Yep, so
You
just
can
pay
use
to
these
win
items as
to get
enhancement
your
materials
stuff
as
ready
is.
for whatever's coming in June.
Fortify your weapons and armor, and reach for even greater heights. The limited time quest, Nazun's Big Quiz Part 3, starts on May 29th. As with Part 2, which was previously released, it takes place in Kavaris and Stia. We're providing a lot of unique quizzes.
Story
such
support.
as
What would
Guess
that
the
even
Quintuplets
be? The
featuring
additional of
Kavaris
the
leader
addition of
Quintuplets.
subplots or
The
something?
Who Could It Be quiz, where you guess who the NPC on screen is, and more. Enjoy testing your knowledge of the
They
game
try
in
to
this
sell
quiz quest,
Ina,
only
Mana, and
available
Anna.
during this period.
They try to sell Ina and Manon plots
New limited
as
time tasks and
high
title
grade
tasks will
as
be added that can be
the
accomplished by
premiere,
completing this
the
quest.
premiere capsules that no one wants to
By
run.
completing this quest, you can get anniversary SP scratch tickets, reward box medal April 2024, and limited time titles. We'll also be holding a Trainia ARKS records. This time, it's for Face the Darkness Rank 2 for solo and all classes.
I would take the meta board
You can
any day over what
participate
they have
just
going on
by
in
taking on the
NGS.
challenge
Oh
during
yeah,
the event
definitely.
period.
Because
So
at least
try it
then
out
you would
with your
have
favorite
random
class
events
and
popping up
go
from
for a
time
new
to time.
record.
Even
Next
if they
is the
weren't
new AC
directly
scratch ticket,
tied to the
Elegant
task you were
Harmony.
working on.
It features jumpsuits and dresses. Don't forget to check out the scratch count bonus for alternate idle and glide versions of the Dark Magic EX motion change item from the prize list. That's all for now about the May update info. However, today we have also prepared a teaser of the new content arriving to celebrate the PSO2 anniversary in July. We hope you enjoy it.
So no
It
hint about
is July,
June.
okay.
Episode 3 Card Revolution? Holy crap, what is this?
Wait, what? A card? What?
Okay, who called this? Who was in? Who in our Discord called this?
What?
What I'll say is, I want to see these cards moving around the grid.
Dice. Defense.
I hear you attaching that effect there.
Good day, mate.
That was almost too dead on.
Planning on throwing a party?
So, is there a reason that it's just
Harriet, going in.
still images and not, 3D models? I mean, this still feels like a downgrade, but at least it's something new.
They're pulling these from the trading card game.
Yeah.
It was a trading card game over in Japan, and apparently it's over. But I'm not surprised to try and bring use their assets in this.
Line strike. Okay.
Line strike. Okay.
I don't know how I feel
How
about
did you
this.
like it?
Yeah,
Line Strike is the first PvP
It's
content.
funny.
It's
in
a
NGS.
story.
Episode
Will
3
be
card
released
revolution
along
is
with
back
PSO2
again.
12th anniversary in July. Stay tuned
But
for
at
more
least this
details.
means they're not pushing the June
that
update
concludes the update
back.
information for today.
I hope.
Moving on to the next segment.
yeah. June is when we're supposed to get that new city area.
NGS Operation Report.
Because they revealed that a while ago, and there
For this
still is yet
segment,
to be anything
the
about
NGS
it.
Operation Report. I, Hiro Arai, select questions and comments from players to bring to the development and live operation teams and bring you their answers. I also have a letter from the developers to share with you.
Oxygen, if they do that, that's probably going to kill my
We'll
interest
start
in
with
it.
the letter from
Yeah,
the
same here.
developers, a message from the dev team to the players. Allow me to read it to you.
Because at that point, might as well just go play Card Revolution again from a brand new character.
We would like to thank all the ARKs out there for continuing to play NGS. Moving forward,
Yes,
we
all
will provide
2,000 of you.
information on the intended implementation of updates introduced in this program and our plans for future improvements in the form of a letter from the developers. First off, I would like to start by talking about Line Strike, which was introduced earlier in the broadcast. This may be a surprise to some of you, as this wasn't included in the roadmap we shared at the end of last year. In this content, you will build a deck with cards based on PSO2 series characters and enjoy this simple but highly strategic minigame against other ARKs, defenders, and NPCs. You may be wondering why we would implement a minigame now, so let me explain the background of this development.
Because we can't create any other kind of content that's very fun or interesting.
It really does kind of feel that
It
way,
all
doesn't
started
it?
around the early summer of 2021, almost at the same time as NGS launched, when we held a contest within the dev team for ideas of minigames to expand the gameplay of NGS. We received many proposals. Based on the proposal we selected, a task force team was formed with interested staff. Then development started behind the scenes, without officially setting a fixed release schedule.
So resources were stolen from NGS to make this crap.
Since then,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they were
has managed
stolen.
to find time around
It
their
was just
regular
on the
update
side.
tasks to proceed with its development bit by
Yeah,
bit.
it's just been a side thing.
Now, after 3 years, it was finally near enough to completion that we decided to release it with the PSO2 anniversary event. We will be sharing more info such as the game's rules in future NGS headlines, so please look forward to the updates. Next, I'll explain our future plans on balance adjustments for classes and the expansion of tech arts customization. As a result of our discussion on the current
You have
usage
a core
status of
game that needs to be
classes,
helped.
we
You
would
don't
like
need to
conduct
be
balance
spending time
adjustments for the
on
fighter
nonsense
class
like this
in
that doesn't
June
add
and
to the
for
core
tech
game.
dirt in an October update. After that, we
There's,
will make
it's the
adjustments
second kind
to
of
Force,
content that's being
followed by
added that's
Hunter.
separate from the base game.
Furthermore, we are
Or
planning to
separate
release
from the
a
core
third
game.
implementation of tech arts customization in October and a fourth implementation afterwards. We will add PA customization for taluses and wands in the fourth implementation. We are relying on the usage status of classes and your feedback to proceed with future adjustments and expansions. Thank you for continuing to play NGS. That was the letter from the developers. Continuing on to the next section, I'll have answers from the development and live operations teams to player questions and comments. Here is the first one. Is it possible to add more slots for looks? Here is their answer. In response to this request, we are planning to increase the number of premium set exclusive slots from the current 20 to 40.
You're really wasting more time on the stupid dress-up doll aspect of the game.
Players
Which is
also have
what the
ability
majority
to
of people
save
playing
and
NGS
load
currently
creation data.
only care
So
about,
you can
honestly.
use this as an
Yeah, the
alternative
2,000 that
way
are
to
going
save
to
more
leave
looks
once the
if
game
number of
dies.
slots is still
Yep.
insufficient.
You don't spend time on the people who are still
That was their answer.
who are currently
Let's
happy
move
with a
on to the
game
next
that's
question.
dying. You spend time trying to get back the
Are
people
there
you
any plans
lost.
to offer multi-weapon
Well, those the
substitutes?
people who are still playing the game are the
Here's their
whales,
answer.
so
The whales will leave
In
when
response to
everyone
this
else leaves.
request,
yep,
we're
that is
considering
true.
implementing a
Yep.
function in a future update that will allow players to create a multi-weapon using other weapons that have a special augment affixed as a material. That was their answer. If they end up implementing this, you can make lots of different multi-weapons. I'm looking forward to seeing how that will work.
I'm
Let's
sure
move
somebody
on to
will
the
use a
next
3-star as one of those weapons.
Can you make the augment categories easier to understand? Here is their answer. In order to make it easier to understand which augments can be used together, we are considering adding a category display in the item details screen of augment capsules and in the add augments function in the item lab in a future update. Thank you for your patience in the meantime. That was their answer. If they implement this, it will definitely make weapon enhancement easier. Let's move on to the next question. There is not much incentive to play urgent quests because there is not a big difference in rewards between urgent quests and standing quests. Do you have any
Yes.
plans to
Okay.
Yes. That's
Here's
an
their
actual
answer.
good question.
The development team is aware of this issue, and we intend to set the rewards for future urgent quests with an eye to differentiating them from standing quest rewards. We are also considering improving existing urgent quest rewards in a future update. On the other hand, we also want to make sure that gameplay is not overly biased towards urgent quests. That was their answer. That's all for our Q&A
You kind of have to
today.
do it, though.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Moving forward, we will continue to select
That's the whole
and
point,
bring
to
your
get people into
questions
the
and
urgent quest.
feedback
Otherwise,
to the
players will not
development
touch
and
the urgent quest because
operations
there's no
teams and share their answers
decent
with you.
reward in there.
Exactly.
Please
What's the
share
point
your
of going in
thoughts and
after your 30
opinions
runs for
about
your
this
master cube?
program and the game using the hashtag NGS
Furthermore,
Headline
why
on
run
X
it?
and
I
other
mean, they
social
don't even
media.
have story content, so that's killed Dalian for me.
Moving on to the next
There's no
segment.
story content connected to Dalian.
NGS Satellite Information.
Now let's move on from updates and talk about some other NGS related info. I'm sure it will get you even more hyped to play the game. Let's start with this. Starting May 8th, we will be holding an ARKS Cash Super Sale and AC purchase campaign for Razor Gold. You'll be able to get some great deals with 150 AC for 99 cents, 750 AC for $4.99, and 1,500 AC for $9.99. In addition, you can get items like the weapon camo Heart of Steel with a purchase of 150 AC or more. Don't miss out on this chance for cheap AC.
Also, what's with the art of Nagisa
Phantasy
there?
Star Remix, previously available on YouTube as in-game music discs,
I'm not sure.
can now also be enjoyed on Spotify, Apple Music, and other
Now that just
music
makes me
streaming
want to play
services
Portable
as
to
of
Infinity.
April 23rd.
Yeah.
You're now also free to use these tunes when posting videos on TikTok. Now you can stream Phantasy Star Remix as you cook dinner, commute to work, or even as you play NGS. The selection conditions for NGS official creators have undergone a major change as of April 19th. The certification period for official creators, previously 1 month, has now been changed to 3 months. In addition, please note that instead of accepting new applications every month, applications are now accepted every 3 months, in January, April, July, and October. So new applicants should pay careful attention to when they start the application process. Plus, while only YouTube and Twitch were previously taken into account as official video streaming activities during the selection process, the rules for YouTube have been changed to include YouTube Shorts as well, and the number of views for X and Instagram videos is now also included in the selection process. This means that in addition to creators of video-based media streaming, NGS fans who are primarily active on social media can now also apply to be official creators. In addition, the rules and conditions of the previous official creator program have been substantially revised, including changes to reward items and an easing of conditions for the grading system. So we hope that you will take
Gee, I
this
wonder
opportunity
why.
to consider applying. Check out the NGS official
The
creator
game is
special
practically
website
dead, so
for
it's
more
no
details.
surprise that official creators can't get the views they need.
Now let me
Yep.
introduce our new collab. We are pleased to announce a collab between NGS and Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, R2.
Code Geass.
In this
It's
collab,
old, but at
we
least
plan
it's
to release not
it's one
only
that people
Lelouch,
might know.
C2, Suzaku,
I've heard of
and
it, but never
Cowan
watched
avatar
it.
items, but a multitude of
I only
collab
know
items,
about the
including emotes and
abridged
voice
series
tickets
for that
modeled
one
after
joke
Lelouch,
and that one joke
using
only.
his Geass, vital gauge designs, and ARKS ID backgrounds. Let me provide a brief introduction to the Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, R2 TV anime. It started airing in 2008
Is this
as
game
a
re-
continuation
is
of
this
the
game
terrestrial
re-aired?
anime series, Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion. 1 year after the Black Rebellion,
Yeah,
the
this is.
Japanese
It
uprising
says
against
2006,
Britannia,
2008 for the
spearheaded
character
by the Black
designs.
Knights. Lelouch, who had been living a peaceful life at Ashford Academy,
Yeah, we're at Soup.
awakens as Zero
Yes.
once more to finish
Sunrise usually handles
prominent
Gundam.
picaresque
This was a
man
collaboration
of the
between
2000s,
basically the
He
Gundam
has made a
creators and
significant
Clamp.
impact on subsequent works. It will be held in June 2024. More details will be announced in the next headline, so stay tuned. That's all for this episode of NGS Headline. Please share your thoughts and feedback on this program and the game using the hashtag NGS Headline
That's
on
legit.
X.
You should probably avoid bringing
Together,
up
we
table
can
con.
make NGS an even more fantastic game. As a representative of the users, I will continue to work with the development team to make NGS a more enjoyable game for everyone, and I look forward to your continued support. The next episode of Headline will be on Tuesday, May 28th. We'll be focusing mainly on the updates coming in June. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now then, ARKS, I'll see you at the next NGS Headline.
Thanks for watching here on Tuesday night. I'll see you on next NGS Headline. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll probably be on for the event thing that they're going on with, but it's just more of the goddamn same.
Yep.
Very much.
I like that they've finally acknowledged that the fact that urgent quests don't give any meaningful rewards. They're actually going to look into that. That's actually something that will convince me to come back if there's something to actually work towards.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they actually end up doing. The one thing that we didn't see on the global side was a thing with Bitcash on the Japanese side, but that's like just a few seconds long.
Now, how about that card game? The
So,
second piece of content being added that's not addressing the base game.
They seriously can't think that base game is okay as is. They seriously can't.
Think they do.
Why does this need to be a part of New Genesis? Why isn't it?
Look,
it's only
Because Final Fantasy 14 has, what was it called? The Triple Triad, and Final Fantasy 7 had Queen's Blood.
Like, Final Fantasy 14's been, like, Triple Triad's been part of 14 since Realm Reborn. So
technically, it started as Final Fantasy VIII for that card game, but I mean, at least for Final Fantasy VIII to Final Fantasy 14, there really wasn't that much of a change in how things worked. I mean, Sega had a great system with Card Revolution. I've been talking it up for years, and now I just feel disappointed by this new card game compared to that. At least by my initial view. I still need to play it, of course, to come to my final conclusion. But to compare it to that, this just feels like a downgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm still like that they're adding like some mini games to the game, because the base PSO2 has those kind of mini games, and that's always like a fun break from the main game. When the main game was good, it's like I'm still gonna say that the main game is still more of the goddamn same. It's just mindless grinding for the sake of mindless grinding.
Yeah.
There's no real like big thing to be going after, and that's what's been driving me away from playing more of NGS and going back to the older games. Hell, it's like more and more people have been playing on Affinia as of late. I've right now there are 287 people on Affinia. That is insane.
Yep. And then, of course, Clementine is still out there. We'll get to both of them in a little bit here, as usual. Yeah, it's. I mean, what can you really say at this point here? The game is not in a good state, and we're never gonna know what the total number of hours put into this little mini game was. But yeah.
They said that it was a side project, so I'll take their word on that.
Side project from the launch.
Yeah.
It has been worked on probably longer than Creative Spaces.
Yeah, so we'll see how things play out with that. I'm surprised they didn't make any push on June's content at all here to at least get the hype going. But I guess we'll see how that all plays out next month then.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you wonder if this is starting to look like they're stalling for time at this point. They're trying to stall for the next game.
Probably. Because there have been rumors of a new Phantasy Star game and potentially like a remaster of the original Phantasy Star Online. I doubt that though. So yeah, we'll see what Sega ends up cooking.
I think we brought that up last month, and yeah, I think we said the PSO remake was unlikely, but I think the other one might have been possible. But now the question is, where did this card one come from in that whole mix?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this card game.
And I don't think this is going to get the reaction Sega was hoping for. Honestly, what's probably going to happen is they're going to see a lot of Japanese and English players going, what am I supposed to do with this? This is less than worthless.
Yeah, and to Betsagen's point before, if they actually do cards via AC scratch, dead. Absolutely dead.
Oh, absolutely.
Even SG scratches, still dead. It's got to be cards earned from the NPCs.
Like the cards the cards have to be earned from NPCs.
Because otherwise it's just pay to win again. Alright, any other comments before we move on?
No, that's all I have.
Alright. So then in that case, let's go ahead and take a look at least some of the other updates that have happened in the past couple of weeks here since the last one. Starting with... So, there's a known issue right now. Technically, it's already been fixed at this point here, but there was an issue whereby the chess graphics for the new Resolve Stella replica set were not displayed correctly. And all players were given a free Salon Pass because of this here.
Yep. I remember confusing this thinking, wait, did they just re-release I missed, because Jean's outfit is called Stella Grace and Stella Cry, I think. And I, for a second, thought, wait, those outfits aren't even released. How are they? Then I realized, yeah, Stella's had her own outfits from Idola.
Yep. Yeah, Stella is, if I remember correctly, it was, Stella was the character that, Yuli met, early on in the game. Let's see, moving on from this one. Colors emitted by glowing sections of New Power Uli Replica T1/B base, and its color variants are not displayed correctly. This was fixed on the 17th, and all players were given a N color change pass because of that. There is the Gear Up Your Class special campaign. This one is for the Bouncer and the Ranger. And it's basically just level up the character, and then I think it's get 1,000 or 1,500 kills with each of the classes.
Which is not that hard at all.
Right. Especially with what players have been doing as of late. Have you two heard about this? They're going over to Stia now, just using Talus for basically just grinding away on enemies there to get Meseta as quickly as possible over at Dex
I
Base.
actually haven't heard about that.
This is the first time I'm hearing of it as well.
Yeah, that's apparently the current strat to just make Meseta. Let's see, moving on. Apparently Ship 2 went down for a little bit on the 12th.
Oh.
Yeah, it was down for like an hour, it looks like. Yeah, they don't have too many details about what happened here, except that they're apparently going to offer an apology in the future. So, I guess maybe you need to at least have a character on Ship 2 to count for that one. But
They're usually not that careful. They don't usually that carefully present target players anymore. I mean, when the Xbox situation went down, I still got the premium day passes.
Gotcha. Moving on from that, so they are doing bonus daily tasks going forward every Sunday and Monday. For the timing of this, I'm sure it has something to do with just the fact that Japan is so many hours ahead of us here in the US. But every Sunday, you're able to get an end color change pass as well as 5 star gems. And then every Monday, well, technically Sunday to Monday, 8 a.m. to 8 a.m., and then every Monday, 8 a.m. to Tuesday, 8 a.m., you're able to get 150,000 Meseta as well as 5 star gems. And looks like you need to complete at least 4 of those tasks. And of course, it's made all the easier now because you're able to go pretty much to any region you want now to get these tasks done.
Oh, so you're not just relegated to only one region and that's it.
No, you can go wherever you want now. So if you don't want to do stuff in Kavaris, you can head over to Stia for, say, easy mineral grabs for that particular task. Because it's literally, for that one, it's just go to the Ryuko device and just grab the 3 or 4 that you're going to need to break there. There was an issue where players were not able to transfer correctly from the room selection screen. This was fixed on the 17th, and they are discussing appropriate compensation for that issue as well. There was also an issue with the all-ship matching, whereby N alliance points might not be earned correctly during that. And as a result, until this bug is fixed, N alliance points will temporarily not be earned during all-ship matchmaking. Since this most recent maintenance.
Well, they've been warning about issues with it, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They have confirmed that Alliance Task Defeat Bosses does proceed normally during all-ship matchmaking. But until the issue is corrected, they ask that players complete the Alliance Task Defeat Bosses without using all-ship matchmaking. Which is interesting. Moving on from that, for all future seasonal event weapons, going forward, the weapons will be listed with an enhancement level of plus 80, but you're not going to be able to use them as part of enhancement materials for other weapons. So for that, you're going to need to grab Gold Prim Sword 2.
And this basically kills any real use for them anymore.
Yep. The only thing that they would be useful for is if they do another rotation of the elemental ones at some point. Moving on from that. So, the first time free AC scratch ticket may be temporarily unavailable to draw. And they confirm this when moving to creative space or moving to an area outside of a city in another region. If you try to draw this scratch ticket when this bug occurs, a message stating an error has occurred will display, and you will not be able to draw the scratch ticket. They have confirmed that this problem can be resolved by moving to the city of any region, so please try that if you encounter this bug. I encountered a separate bug whereby the display changed from saying that I had a free scratch to just displaying the normal price, and I had to relog to get that fixed.
Huh.
So, yeah, I don't know. By the way, have any of you noticed the drop in prices that have happened because this whole thing happened?
I have, yes.
So, at least if they decide to continue the free AC scratch ticket thing, maybe we'll actually see cheaper prices on the markets going forward for this stuff.
I hope so.
That would be nice.
Yep. Still, you know what? Let's bring this up as well. Still doesn't really excuse what they did with the Rurouni Kenshin thing, whereby the one thing that everybody wanted, you were forced to scratch up like 40 times to get it.
I never liked the system in the first place, but at the same time, it was a very clear, desperate grab from them when it was introduced. Now they're just it's starting to cost them now, basically.
Yeah. But granted, at least we didn't end up with the worst thing, which would have been the whole. And this is going back to to before launch on the Japanese servers. Way back then, the way AC was going to work was you would scratch, and then you had to fill out the entire thing in order to get a bonus item.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, that would have just been a nightmare, because you could potentially get duplicates of things you already had. Yeah, that would not have been fun. So at least we didn't get the worst situation, but still, if you only wanted the weapon camo from that collab, you were going to end up with a whole bunch of stuff you didn't want anyway. So.
And on top of that, that was like that initial system also didn't have a pity system.
Right. Yeah, and I think it was Japanese law that got changed that prevented them from even doing that.
In fact, I think didn't they change it just because of what PSO2 was trying to do with it?
No, it was multiple gacha games that were doing that at the time.
Yeah, that had been in the works for some time.
Greed kills pay to play games.
Oh, absolutely.
It's slow enough of a death that most corporations can't understand it. They'll see an immediate return and then wonder why their game died 5 months later. It's just one of those stupid things where where a lot of these corporations can't see the fault because they see immediate gains from it.
Yep. Alright, that's everything that we have for PSO2 today. Let's move on to Clementine now. So, there's been a lot of chatter in the notifications over the last month or so here. Starting with, apparently there were some hardware faults happening with the Clementine server. And so, basically what ended up happening was they needed to get moved from one machine to another. But at least that resolved whatever the issue was that they were having there. Moving on from that, then there was an emergency maintenance to fix some login bugs that were happening.
Clementine definitely communicates better than
NGS.
Oh yeah.
Kind of funny that a fan team is better communications than Sega, even back then as well.
Yep.
Because you played PSU back during when Sega of America was running it.
Oh yeah.
You know how bad their communication was.
Yeah. Back then it was what was it? It was just posts on the website until until Ruby Eclipse came along and they did their I think they were doing a show, or maybe that was before they got hired. I'm trying to remember. But the thing that everybody remembers from way back in PSU was when nobody could, basically when their payment system went down, and had it not been for GM Edward, the game could have died right there and then.
Right.
Yeah. And then, of course,
Kind of insane.
US... Go ahead.
That's kind of insane that that Sega never thought to just pay attention to what was going on the American side. They only cared about the Japanese side at the time.
Yep. And of course, the US, EU, PC, PlayStation 2 servers died years before the Japanese one did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so much. And there was a lot of content that was on the Japanese side that even while the US servers were still going on, they never got. The biggest ones being the Photon Arts that were in Portable to Infinity.
Mm-hmm. They were never able to add like the dodge and guard feature to PSU, but they did at least bring over Photon Arts and such. Yeah.
And I love the dodge and guard feature of Portable to Infinity. It's so nice.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what my plan is going to be for once I get to the Portable series. But yeah, it's definitely going to be with a new character, just because that's how things actually play out in the story. It's a different character from the one that was the Guardian that you played. Moving on from this, then... Go ahead.
You know, it was probably a good thing they did that, considering that there's a lot of mess going on with your player character from Universe.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on from this, then we get to the April update. So Xance, you want to take this?
Yes. Alright, so we got two different April updates. Update 73 and 74. So let's go over the 73 one first. This was on April 4th, and that had the Easter event. Gerard's Ultimate Training. The self-proclaimed strongest Guardian will be hosting a training simulation in the West Kugo, Aegis Kugo. All Guardians are invited to challenge the simulation. And for planet drops, players can now find weapons on C to S2 for just like normal planet drops. That's nice. These drops will drop on missions based on the planet the mission is on, and the drops will be placed based on the player's type. That's also nice. Guardians Cash Change. Reduce the amount of GC it costs to element change equipment from 750 to 100. Gas. The element Technic level plus skills under attribute resistance has been adjusted, so players only need 1 for plus 10 Technic levels. 2 through 5 will be removed in a future update. And balance changes. Increase the hitbox angle on combo 2 and 3 of Infinite Break, and adjusted Bugai Senba Plus's set bonus. Adjusted enemy EXP to feel more smooth going from early, mid, to late game levels. That is something I do like, and I probably will make a new character just to experience how that change is like.
Yeah, I think I'm only like level 114 right now, so I definitely still need to get myself leveled up and everything.
Yeah, I'm 188. I haven't been able to be on enough to get my main character up to 200, but I'm pretty high level. So.
Yeah, my issue's been more just finding players to, so I'm not trying to take on those high-level missions alone and such.
Yeah. Player movement. This is experimental. Other players' movement should appear more smooth now. That's cool. Because because before other player movement is very jittery, and it's been like that for years.
Yeah, it's like it looked like other players were sort of like walking on a grid.
Mm-hmm. Bug fixes. Corrected Guardiana U weapon model. Corrected Pure Heart Gun name to Pure Hearts. Corrected Twin Kamui U action sound. Corrected Kusanagi to be a 14-star weapon. Fixed line shields not being able to element swap with GC. Fixed an issue with piercing shotguns wouldn't pierce when the PA levels up. Fixed an issue with Dawns Arena. And fixed the issue where Wicked Invasion was rewarding more MP than intended. And fixed a ton of server crashing issues, as was shown off in those Discord announcements.
Yep. And Alpine, I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
And then the latest update, which was on the 17th. Road to Ultimate. So this is something that Clementine's been building up for a while now, is a new difficulty, Ultimate. And for the lead up to a full implementation of it, they're bringing back old events with access to the Ultimate difficulty to lead up to that. So right now it's Beckoning Woods, and that's going to be changing after tomorrow to something else.
Yep, and Beckoning Woods is basically a Halloween-based event.
Yep.
Moving on from those updates, then they continue to post several other things here. So this is going back to April 4th here. For those of you who may not be aware of the feature and may not have the requisite lobby area unlocked, you can freely access the event location, this being the Easter event, I believe, by using any of the universe transporters, the floating orange, 3D diamond, and selecting event area from the menu. Then they have a hotfix note for Heaven Earth Man. The random crash at the entrance might be fixed. Might not be. They wanted player feedback on that. And then they fixed the clear ranking and clear rewards, so you should be getting S rank with PA frags. And to let them know if you don't. There was also a cold fix for the same quest. Should be last hotfix to the mission. Yeah, that's interesting naming, because cold fix would usually require a server reboot. So fixed the boss portal not appearing when returning to the lobby from the boss arena, and fixed the rare portal not appearing for players who enter the block after it spawned. And then after that, they start talking about that Road to Ultimate event. So yeah, Road to Ultimate will bring back old event missions each week with the Ultimate difficulty available for the mission, but all the old difficulties are also available. This will be a good chance to start getting some /U weapons, armors, units, and levels before Ultimate arrives. Enemy drops will be updated for enemies that currently don't have an Ultimate drop. They will drop their current S4 weapons /U variant. Some enemies may still have their S4 drop if it's an armor unit or material. This above changes actually applied right now for the final day of the event, that being the Easter event again. And then they'll have some progress updates, but there's no release date in the ult discussion channel. And then there was another set of updates here. One for a quick server restart on the 17th. And then to note that the Easter event had officially ended. And then apparently there was a fix that needed to be done for Ultimate Beckoning Woods. And then for the 24 hours following that post, there was a plus 20% rare drop rate boost applied to boxes. Alright, that does it for Clementine. Let's move on to Athenia. So, this started back on March 30th, but it's been ongoing since, that being the Easter event. And this, the Easter event is actually going to end on April 27th, but we'll go through the rest of the update that they have here. So basically, items can drop at a 1 out of 2,000 rate for normal, 1 out of 1,800 in hard, 1 out of 1,200 in very hard, and 1 out of 500 in ultimate. Additionally, they now receive a boost in RBR quests. I'm trying to remember what RBR is on that server, but it's plus 15% for 1 player, 20% for 2 players, and then 25% for 3 or 4 players. They also fixed an issue.
RBR is like the replacement of the Hunter's Boost Road.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I just can't remember what the R
So
stands
instead
for.
of like having to do a very specific amount of quests multiple times in order to increase the drop rate, it's now just you just do like certain quests are boosted and that's it.
Okay. Actually, I think now that I think about it, I think it's Rare Boost Road or something like that. Okay. They fixed an issue with the Season Shop introduced in the Linux port back in December. The game and launcher were updated with a number of changes. They restored and greatly improved the lighting effect for dubchicks reattaching their severed limbs or heads. This effect was incorrectly rendered with a few issues. The texture wasn't loaded properly. Oh, Ragdoll Boost Road, thank you.
Yeah, Ragdoll Boost Road.
The effects origin point were wrong for a frame, rendered in the wrong coordinate system, and there was no clipping, which would often cause a blinding effect when rendered behind the camera. They implemented similar clipping for other lighting effects, such as Gazond. You may have noticed that using Gazond on a target behind the camera would sometimes cover the screen. This should now be fixed. They restored the lighting effect under Gal Griffin during the lightning attack in Ultimate difficulty. This effect was not visible unless you were playing in 640 by 480. Ooh, that's low resolution these days. Fix the rendering of photon bullet trails. These were clipped incorrectly and usually invisible when your game's resolution was high enough. They fixed the rendering issues with the sun and lens flare objects in Forest 1, Ultimate Dark Falls before the fight, Temple Beta, and Barbara Ray. The location of the flare wasn't centered on the screen and was clipped to the edges of the viewport correctly. When advanced effects are disabled, cloaked capture traps in Episode 2 will now render with 10% alpha. These can be difficult to spot, but sometimes might be easier to spot than the advanced effects version, depending on their location, and they're asking for player feedback on that. They added an option to the launcher to disable motion blur. Motion blur exists only when advanced effects are enabled. That'll be nice to turn that off. I have never been a fan of motion blur whatsoever.
Same.
They added an option to the launcher to control whether Shifta, D-Band, Jellin, and Zalur icons on the HUD are blinking or fading when running out. This effect occurs for the final 10% of the duration for a maximum of 30 seconds. They fixed a few small entries in the English unit text. And they implemented a change to fix the rendering distance and lifetime for many map particles. This should cause some particles to render correctly, such as the lightning in the background for Ultimate Falls, and also fix particles that would sometimes render and then disappear when moving out of range. And then as for the Easter event itself, so actually once again, Ultimate 1 out of 500, and there's the rest of them there. We already went over the boost for the number of players. These rates are not affected by any other drop rate modifiers or server boosts. Event eggs cannot drop from enemies with 0% drop rates, such as those in quests like Beyond the Horizon. Furthermore, scared rappies and boxes will not drop eggs either. The egg shop will contain various ways to spend your eggs. A shop ran by Ellie, where you can trade a set of eggs for materials, collectible items, or mag cells, along with a couple of other trinkets. An egg gamble ran by a male NPC on the left. How many eggs are you willing to give up for the chance at something good? And a mysterious Ramarl, who has traveled far to sell some mysterious items. So, just looking at the one egg gamble, there's actually some really decent stuff in here. for newer players. For example, you're able to get a Heavenly Battle from here if you manage to luck into it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that with the one egg gamble, it's a 100% success on that. For the other two gambles, it's only a 50% success rate, but you're still able to get some really good stuff out of it. For example, if you want to, if you're looking to max out character stats, they do have the Centurion ability available, as well as
V801 is really nice.
Say again?
Yeah, the V801, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that was the one that increases casting speed, right?
Let me check here real quick.
Because the 101 is
yeah, the V801 increases casting speed.
Yeah, combine that with a Phoneman and have them without a weapon in their hand. That is super speedy casting.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 egg gamble. There's only a 10% success rate, but you're able to get some really rare stuff from this here, including the V502, a Syncesta, a Limiter, and then even the Swordman lore, which I think helps you unlock a really powerful sword, if I remember correctly. But it's been some time since I played episode 4. And then there's the Elish shop, whereby you can just simply directly trade eggs for different items. For example, if you need materials, one will give you either 5, 10, or a single one, depending upon which material you're going for. You can get some of the more jokey weapons in the game, but could still be a nice stat boost if you're just starting with a new character. And then there's some other stuff once you get to the higher numbers of eggs here. And then in Karen's shop, they are selling, looks like weapons specifically here. 35 eggs a pop, which will give you either Charge, Berserk, or Spirit type, I guess, hands or mech guns or shots. And then some of the rarer stuff, the Spirit SWJ sword with a 30% hit. I think that would be a pretty nice one to have if you're a hunter there. But yeah, that's basically it for Iphinia. Along with everything that I had. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to bring up here today?
I don't have anything personally. But yeah, I'm honestly impressed with how popular Iphinia has been getting as of late.
At this point, yeah, it seems like the old games are just taking away players from New Genesis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you hope that it kind of makes you hope that they don't, that Sega just suddenly turn an angry eye towards them. But at the same time, it's still Sega's fault at the end of the day that they can't provide anything as good as what we used to have.
Yep.
Because when it comes to the original Phantasy Star, it worked so incredibly well. The combat's very simple, and all the weapons that you were actually going after were super unique. Every single rare weapon just felt strong. And then you got even better rare weapons as you got further into difficulties, and you just felt stronger and stronger and stronger.
And you had a reason to hold on to those weapons for a while. It wasn't like you were being constantly just chasing the best in gear. And there was
there's always reasons to use basically every weapon for the most part.
And there's always and at the same time there was understanding from the more experienced players that not every player is going to be equipped up to the maximum. So it's like there was a lot more leniency, where in New Genesis there's not a lot of tolerance for players who are not in best in slot.
There isn't, and that's what's really hurting it a lot right now.
Yep. Yeah, and even back then, I mean, nobody really had a chart of what was even best in slot. Partly because weapon special effects kind of nullified the whole idea in the first place. But secondly, that was still back during the heyday of the internet where a lot of people still only had dial-up. Many players weren't even aware of sites like GameFAQs back then. And it was impossible to really get a chart that said, you know, which weapon was the strongest unless you like went to a site like PSO World, which, you know, who knows how much longer that site is going to stay up at this point, because it's like that's completely dead, and barely anybody posts there on their forums even anymore.
And it's a shame because PSO World actually does have a lot of great information on the original PSO.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's they do actually have charts and such on how to like build your character up for max stats. Now, granted, some of that stuff hadn't been updated since the GameCube Xbox days, Xbox OG that is.
Yeah.
So, Blue Burst may not have been part of that, but yeah, it's got a whole lot of information there that you just can't get anywhere else at this point. But again, that's go ahead.
And here's the thing: the whole reason we're getting that there is a team working on a private PSO2 server is because Sega intentionally deep sixed the economy of base PSO2 on their own servers. So the fans have to go. So the players, in order to get a game that actually works again, has to go fix what the developers did to the game before NGS released.
I'm kind of annoyed that they just completely destroyed the economy in base PSO2.
It was basically they were trying to force players into NGS, really. It was a case of, yeah, we know we have a crap game here, and yes, we're keeping base PSO2 around as a stopgap, just in case, but we really do not want the players to stick around in base PSO2. So, in order to try to keep players moving into NGS and trying to get them acclimatized to NGS and over base PSO2, they killed the economy to the point that no player who has not been basically grinding for weeks on the Cradle one, the
Cradle of Darkness.
Cradle of Darkness, yes, thank you. The Cradle of Darkness. That had not been grinding on the Cradle of Darkness would have absolutely no chance in the player shops. As a result, like all the old accessories are technically inaccessible, even though they can be bought from the player shops now, because the prices are ridiculous. The inflation there is through the roof to a point where it's laughable. It makes post World War I Germany look reasonable. That's how bad the inflation is over there.
Yep. So when they finally do decide to release that server to the public, I'll be there.
I know a lot of people.
I'm absolutely, like, the first day that private server goes up, I'm there.
I know a lot of people who are saying the exact same thing, because NGS has just failed in so many ways.
And it's sad. It really is. I wanted it to be good. I remember, like, my first impressions of NGS being positive. And then the game came out, and the server issues just killed all my enthusiasm.
Yep.
Even once the server issues were supposedly resolved, which no, they aren't. They're still there. It's just we are not on. We just don't have the player base to actually overload the servers anymore.
Yeah, because it was up to like 51,000 top players when NGS launched, and then it just dropped hard and never recovered.
Yep. And if you want more PSO2 content, I mean, once this thing releases, I'm currently in the process of trying to draft out what an extra 2 or 3 episodes might look like. Now, granted, yes, it's going to be fan content at that point, but I mean, I have to imagine that it's at least better than what they're giving us in New Genesis at this point. It's like, if you want to design the game, then make your own game. Well, hey, I've got a Word document that I'm actually working on for that.
At this point, I would say, if Phantasy Star keeps continuing as basically a dress-up simulator, then basically the extra episodes by Star's game is about as close to pure and honest Phantasy Star content we would probably be getting for the game, for the modern games.
And it's a shame because like PSO2, base PSO2, it had that good balance between really fun, engaging gameplay, especially when it came to the gameplay loop of going out and potentially getting the rare weapons, and then also the urgents. That was like my biggest thing of loving base PSO2 was those urgents and how important they were. But also the fashion was the end game. A lot of the stuff that you work towards would also allow you to get a lot of money, and if you were the one that wasn't spending real money for the scratches, which when I was playing on the JV server, I was definitely one of those people that was a free-to-play player. All the Meseta I would get from all the missions that I would go out, or getting like rare drops of weapons that I don't use, alright, I can just sell those. Those allowed me to be able to dress up my character to be really nice. But it's like, you had a balance there of good gameplay with the dress up. Now it's just all mostly focused on the dress up because that's where all the money is, with barely any focus on making the gameplay actually fun and engaging.
And this is once again short-term gains killing long-term survivability of the game.
Yep.
This game is going to crash. When this game crashes, there's going to be a panic from the developers and Sega, and then it's going to be too late.
Yep.
I expect Sega to get very nasty once that happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the ultimate reaction on this line break thing is going to be, because I mean, if a lot of players are saying, you know, there's no interest, especially if we start hearing about AC or SG card packs, then if nobody's playing it, that's going to reflect in Sega's numbers internally, and then yeah, there's going to be a lot of finger pointing saying, why did we spend so much time on this?
Honestly, what the core game needs work. It's like they don't want to touch content that's already been created. Like, we need a proper... I was writing up a document on how NGS could be fixed, because it's really... all NGS is really dying from is a death of 1,000 cuts. It's there's little issues here, little issues there that keep causing problems. We need proper dungeons that branch off from the open world. We need actual proper content that utilizes the open world as a feature and not as an afterthought. We need, like, you know how the food system currently works. It's so bare bones and so on the nose that there's no depth to that. There was so much potential just in how they could have the players gather stuff. You know, like we have fish just sitting on the surface because they didn't want to create a fishing system. We could have a proper hunting system instead of... I mean, they had the excuse for actually having hunters have special skills to hunt the tames because of the nanites that break everything down. There is so much potential here, but because they don't want to take the time to go back and update the old content, instead they keep throwing newer stuff that doesn't really help the core game on top of it, this whole thing's going to collapse on itself. They need
Yep.
to reinforce the foundation of this game. It's the basic bare bones structure's there. It just needs to have meat placed on the skeleton.
Yep. And I mentioned it before, but I mean, doing something like subplots for the story could go a long way to helping to fix even the story here.
Imagine getting a quest to hunt down some rogue ARKS who are trying to start a crime syndicate around in Halpha. Maybe they're stealing resources from Redum and from the Redum mines and it's creating a political issue between Central and Redum. That would work as a story, and then you could use that to world build. There's a lot of missed opportunities, and the game basically at this point Sega needs to do a Square Enix, which is trot out the developers, force them to apologize for the state, have the leadership of Sega apologize, and then I would say bring back Sakai, because I have a feeling Sakai would know how to get this game back on track, even if it means killing off the open world and going back to what was going on in PSO2.
Honestly, that would probably be better.
Yep.
Because episode 6 was definitely a point where PSO2 was in a back on an upward trend.
Yep.
Because episode 6 was really good. I really enjoyed all the content that was in episode 6.
The story crawled, though. I mean, it took 2 years to get the story done, and that was not something I was enjoying.
I'll agree on that, especially that chapter on Earth. That was just, why were we there? I mean, they were able to fix that themselves. Like, what did we actually do there?
It was basically trying to show how everything we had connected ourselves to was under threat. And basically, yes, they were handling it without us, but at the same time, they were just trying to help build up the stakes and show that, yes, Earth's holding on to their own, but they're not going to be holding on forever.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, and I guess they did. Go ahead.
I guess the issue was that they did make it feel like the player was not really needed there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll at least agree they did need to remind players about Hitsugi, because otherwise, in the final moments of or episode 6 rather, players who didn't remember her might be wondering why is she suddenly chasing the player towards the past. But yeah, at this point now, all we can really do is just wait and see what's going to be with June. I can only hope that Sega somehow pulls this thing around. One thing that players may not realize is after Chapter 5 came out, Daiki, or HMZK, was no longer the director of the game. They apparently got promoted to series director, and we have a new director in place now for NGS. And this past year may have just simply been them getting acclimated to things, but at the same time, PSO2 went through director changes like that as well, base PSO2, and they were able to at least make some things happen fairly quickly to fix things.
There is story content on the roadmap. It is basically it's going to be released alongside the new area, supposedly.
Oh yes, that city area that we were shown about.
Yeah. And the question is going to be, is that when they're going to name drop New Genesis Episode 2 or not?
Who knows?
They also said that with the city area, they are going to have a new enemy type. And when they say new enemy type, that usually means that we're getting an entire new category of enemy. when the Starless arrived, they were called a new enemy type. When the Ruin arrived, they were also a new enemy type. So we're getting a new classification of enemy we're going to be seeing in the city, and that might be the reason why we're not seeing much about the June update, because there's going to be potential spoilers in just showing that content. And yeah, it says Dolls 3, but I'm personally hoping that, even though it would be a very, very cheap method, very cheap, and I'm personally hoping that we might see a human-based enemy, possibly a Generation 4 clones.
Yep. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Because that's what Safeto was talking about at the end of Chapter 5. So, but we'll see at this point. I mean, really anything could happen. I've got some stuff that I've been hanging on to in terms of what I could have been doing for a Secrets episode, but honestly, with the state of the game as it is, I just have not felt the energy to do it, to put it out at all. So, this game really needs to start turning around for me to really get back on that horse if it wants me to.
There's the thing with altars. We haven't even gotten an explanation for what they are. They're just there, and that's another problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do we want to start closing things up?
Yeah, I think we've all said our piece at this point, and we kind of said it at the top of the show as well here. But yeah, so that's gonna bring us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Rooks, Zance, and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Danny.
Have a good day.